This is NDTV and you're watching NDTV Prime.
Teaching has always been associated with the power to shape lives and create a social impact. With an ever-expanding educational system and more young people enrolling in the institutions for education, the need for good teachers has seen a surge. Hello and welcome. Today on the show we explore why teaching is a lucrative career option and how you too can get the right kind of training to become a teacher.
With more than 50% of its population under 25 years of age, India requires an educational revolution to address the problems of illiteracy and lack of education. A few areas of concern in this regard are recruiting and retaining the required number of teachers and their quality. With more than 97% children aged between 6 to 14 years enrolled in schools for primary education, the need for having qualified and skilled teachers has noticed a surge. According to the Ministry of Human Resource and Development, India currently faces a shortage of over 12 lakh teachers, and as per UNESCO, we will be needing a massive 10.9 million new teachers by 2020 to meet the goal of providing universal primary education for all.
Well, there is shortage of teachers because largely states have not built their capacities to train teachers. So, pre-service teacher education programs have been by and large not meeting the demand, and the demand escalated soon after the RTE came into effect. The shortages still continue, although a lot of states, what they have done, especially in the northern belt, they have recruited a whole lot of contract teachers who may not necessarily have the pre-service qualification because they had to meet the demand, but the shortage still continues.
Recognizing the need to improve teacher quality, the Government of India in 2011 introduced a Central Teacher Eligibility Test or CTET. A mandatory exam for aspiring school teachers, which is in accordance with the Right to Education Act 2009. Any candidate who clears CTET is considered eligible for teaching children from classes 1st to 8th in central government schools, while for CBSE affiliated schools, teachers can be recruited on the basis of either CTET scores or state specific exams.
Well, the CTET and the STET, that is the state level teacher eligibility tests, have actually shown that very few numbers who have the pre-service qualification are qualifying the CTET kind of exam. Which means that it is a reflection on the teacher education programs that are running and also the system of higher education, because a lot of the test is around subject knowledge areas.
At 50%, experts point out the minimum passing marks in graduation, a basic eligibility criteria to apply for B.Ed, might not be enough. Also an indicator of the quality of talent that is currently being attracted for teaching jobs in the country. On the other hand, a lack of training, minimal access to professional teacher networks, feminization of the profession and social perceptions about teaching being a second-class job are some of the reasons that contribute to not only degrading of teaching quality, but also in keeping away young talent from choosing teaching as a career option.
See, firstly, when it comes to talking about guys and girls in B.Ed, there is this notion that it is basically a feminized profession and that it's an easy thing to do, but there's nothing of the sort. Like, even I had something similar going on in my head. When I came to B.Ed, it's hardcore. It's not an easy thing that you can just breeze through. Basically, you're going to learn how to handle young kids. You're going to shape the next generation. It's not the easiest thing in the world. So, if anybody says now that, it's an easy thing, like it's a woman's job, why would you want to go such an easy profession? I would be like, please come and try it for yourself.
While introduction of various central and state level exams is one way to tackle the problem, an introduction of practice-oriented teacher preparation programs, allowing lateral entry of high-caliber individuals with quality work experience in other professions, and restructuring teacher education can be some other possible ways to improving poor teacher quality in the country. With Richa Sajotia, Abhishek Singh for NDTV.
If becoming a teacher is what you always wanted to do but didn't know how to, we tell you how to go about with it.
According to this rule, possibility of the two products.
Teacher training courses in India are designed keeping in mind the different educational requirements for teachers teaching at primary and secondary levels. For teaching in a primary school, candidates need to have a minimum score of 50% in higher secondary examinations, along with a recognized full-time Bachelor's of Education degree or B.Ed. While for teaching at the secondary school level, a bachelor's alongside a postgraduate degree in the subject one wishes to teach is a must. On the other hand, candidates having a diploma in teaching are also eligible for teaching jobs. For kickstarting a teaching career, you can choose to pursue either a degree in Bachelor of Education or B.Ed or a Bachelor of Elementary Education. The B.Ed program is one of the oldest and most popular teacher training program, which enables a candidate for teaching upper primary or secondary levels in both government and private schools. In an attempt to improve the quality of teachers, the National Council for Teaching Education (NCTE) in 2014 decided to increase the duration of a B.Ed program from 1 year to 2 years. This means the candidates now have to study for 5 years to become a teacher, as the minimum eligibility to pursue B.Ed is a compulsory 3-year undergraduate program like a Bachelor of Arts or a Bachelor of Science, for example.
The B.Ed basically requires that you're a graduate in any discipline. It could be the sciences or the arts or humanities, and you write an entrance exam and you come in for a 2-year program. And basically it's assumed that you've done your general education, and all that you need now is a professional training to become a teacher at the secondary and senior secondary level.
A Bachelor of Elementary Education or BL-Ed, on the other hand, is a 4-year integrated degree program which is offered after the completion of high school education.
It's a multidisciplinary integrated professional degree program which one does after +2. That means after passing out from school, anyone from humanities, commerce, science, etc., they are eligible for it. Minimum eligibility, of course, is 50% in certain chosen areas. And this program prepares you to teach up to class 8.
A BL-Ed program is bilingual, taught in both Hindi and English. Its curriculum is designed in a way that it allows an integration of the study of human development, pedagogical knowledge and communication skills.
The students get to engage with education for full 4 years. They study other disciplinary areas also, like psychology, science, maths, social sciences, language, etc. But they also get to study, to engage intensely with education. That is one thing. Then second thing, it has a very fine balance of theory papers, practicum papers and colloquia papers. In fact, practicum and colloquia papers are not in that kind of depth and quantity in other teacher training programs. So that is what makes it something distinct from other teaching programs. Theatre, for example, is a very essential component of our program. Theatre as a pedagogical tool, etc. Then in psychology based, there are many papers.
A BL-Ed program helps students acquire skills in dramatics, crafts, classroom management and evaluation. The course offers practical exposure with almost 60% of the curriculum being fieldwork. For example, BL-Ed students in final years undergo a 4-month teaching internship at schools, thus getting hands-on experience in teaching real time. A BL-Ed program approaches teacher training in contemporary style and allows a balanced mix of practicals and theory.
Internship program that starts in 4th year. But before that also the students do engage with school children in class. In 1st year they go to do activities, storytelling, etc. 3rd year they go for block teaching for about 3 weeks. But internship program is very intense. That's for full 16 weeks. Major part of it is devoted to primary school internship and rest of it is devoted to middle school internship.
While a B.Ed degree straight away prepares you for a teaching career at the secondary level, a BL-Ed degree will only make you eligible for primary level teaching. For a BL-Ed degree holder, an ML-Ed degree hence becomes compulsory to be able to teach at the secondary school level.
The BLEd is a 4-year program that attempts to educate teachers who will teach at the elementary level, and the BEd is a program that helps you to teach right up to the senior secondary level. But the only point of comparison can be that a 4-year program like the BLEd is an integrated program. It integrates general education with professional education, and that gives not only a long duration time for teachers to reflect and develop into reflective practitioners, but it also helps them to look at knowledge areas with a critical eye, and that is what we require in training a teacher. The BEd is not an integrated program in that sense, but the 2-year BEd after graduation is also a model that I think is very effective. We should be able to retain such a model.
Typical career progression for a BEd graduate includes teacher training for teaching at higher levels as a trainee graduate teacher or as a postgraduate teacher or pursuing a master's in education, while a candidate with BLEd degree on the other hand has much more interesting career avenues open for them. They can choose to pursue an MA in sociology, psychology or history among other subjects and enter into an alternate career or find their way back into teaching the subject they postgraduated in.
Now that we know how to get the right training for becoming a teacher, let us look at an inspirational story of an 80-year-old woman who has been teaching relentlessly in the slums of Delhi for the past 20 years.
Open the window.
She's 80 but not ready to hang up her boots. Vimla Kaul has been teaching children from Delhi's slums for the last 2 decades. A history student from Delhi's Miranda House, she taught for years but refused to sit still even after she retired in 1994. And so she focused on students from the slums. Along with her husband, she started a school in 1995 in a small village in the suburbs of South Delhi. What began under the skies and with just 5 students has today grown to 110 children.
I have had about 20 years of service. I have been teaching wherever my husband was transferred. I used to go and join a school because I was interested in teaching.
Her makeshift school had to move from park to park, with residents often complaining about their presence. In fact, she almost had to shut down the school 15 years ago.
Even in this school, we have had a lot of trouble in this. First, we started it in Sarta Vihar. They didn't allow us to work there because people say your children make a noise, your children scratch our cars, your children scratch our homes. Get out. So we have been shunting from here to there, there to here. Finally, we came to this park. And here also, every day we were frightened. It's an MCD park. Any day we can be kicked out.
Finally, in the year 2011, a local trust reached out to help. The school moved to a building with 4 classrooms and 4 teachers, all Vimla Kaul's ex-students.
मिसेस विमला कौल के पास 2006 से पढ़ा रही हूँ कि मैं एक ऐसे जगह बिहार से हूँ जहाँ की लेडीज़ को अंदर में रखा जाता है, ना बोलना, ना निकलना, ना उठना, लेकिन ये सब कुछ मुझे मिसेस कौल से मैंने सीखी।
मेरे को अच्छा लगता है स्कूल में आना, अच्छा लगता है पढ़ने में, और मैं डॉक्टर बनना चाहूँगी।
मेरा नाम शिवानी है, मैं 2nd में पढ़ती हूँ, मेरी क्लास 2री है। मैं डेयरी फार्म में रहती हूँ। मुझे अच्छा लगता है पढ़ना कि मैं भी चाहती हूँ मैं कुछ बनूँ आगे, मैं भी मैम की जैसी बन पाऊँ ताकि और लोगों को पढ़ा पाऊँ।
From parks to pakka rooms, Vimla Kaul has dedicated 20 long years to teaching in the slums. She hopes that someday her school will grow into a full-fledged institution. With Richa Sajatia, Natasha Jog, NDTV.
Very good job.
It's time for us to slip into a short break. On the other side, we explore teaching careers at a college and university level.